It finally happened! The trailer for Heartland Season 19, Episode 4 has left everyone speechless. Fans were already divided over Amy's growing connection with Nathan, but what if I told you that this time, the story takes an even darker and more mysterious turn? Because according to leak spoilers, Amy's emotional journey is about to collide with the one thing she thought she'd left behind forever, the ghost of Ty. And no, this isn't some random dream sequence or a quick flashback. This time, it feels real. Too real. In the newly surfaced trailer, we see Amy waking up in the middle of the night, startled by a sound outside the barn. The look on her face says it all. Fear, confusion, and heartbreak all at once. And from there, the tension just builds. What follows is a roller coaster of emotions that challenges everything we thought we knew about her relationship with Nathan. Because the question everyone's asking now is simple. How do you move forward when the past refuses to stay buried? Heartland has always been a show about healing, about how love, loss, and faith shape the way people grow. But this upcoming episode doesn't just touch on healing. It rips open old wounds and makes Amy question the very idea of closure. For seasons, we've watched her evolve from a grieving widow to a woman slowly learning to smile again. Nathan was never meant to replace Ty. No one could, but he brought peace to a heart that had forgotten what happiness felt like. And yet, here we are again, watching Amy stand on the same emotional cliff, torn between memory and reality. The leaked dialogue hints at something chilling, Amy hearing a familiar voice whispering her name, something that makes her freeze and whisper, "Ty?" For a split second, you can't tell if she's dreaming or if Heartland is finally stepping into a more supernatural story arc. And honestly, who can blame her for breaking down? The love she had with Ty was one of those rare, once-in-a-lifetime connections that change you forever. So when that kind of love resurfaces, even as a ghost, how can she pretend it doesn't shake her soul? But here's the twist. Nathan starts to sense that something's wrong long before Amy admits it. He's not just watching her drift away, he's living through her silence. In one of the most gut-wrenching leaked scenes, Nathan tries to comfort Amy, only for her to pull away as if someone invisible is standing between them. And maybe there is, because according to production insiders, the ghost of Ty, or at least Amy's manifestation of him, becomes a mirror for her guilt, fear, and confusion. She loves Nathan, but she can't let go of the ghost that still owns part of her heart. The trailer flashes show Amy standing near the barn lights, whispering to someone unseen, saying, "You told me to move on. Why does it hurt so much now?" And that single line breaks every Heartland fan who has ever rooted for her happiness. It's not about choosing between two men. It's about choosing between the past and the future. And that right there is what makes Episode 4 so devastatingly beautiful. If you think this episode is just about ghosts and flashbacks, think again. Because Caleb, yes, the same Caleb who can never stop complicating things, is about to do something that will change everything. He's the one who accidentally stumbles upon something connected to Ty's old belongings, something that shouldn't even exist anymore. Rumors say he finds an old letter or recording meant for Amy, one that never reached her after Ty's death. The moment Caleb reads it, he realizes that if Amy ever sees it, it could destroy her relationship with Nathan entirely. But of course, in true Heartland fashion, secrets never stay buried. The trailer hints at Caleb arguing with someone, possibly Nathan, near the plane wreckage scene we saw earlier. Their tension explodes, and Nathan yells something like, "You think keeping secrets will protect her?" While Caleb fires back, "You have no idea what she's been through." It's that mix of loyalty and guilt that makes Caleb one of the most unpredictable characters this season. What's even more intriguing is that fans have spotted something subtle in the trailer. Amy looking at a framed photo of Ty that suddenly falls to the ground without her touching it. Coincidence? Or a silent message from the past? Whatever it is, Heartland seems to be pushing Amy toward a reckoning, the kind where love doesn't just heal you, it tests you. Because no matter how much she wants to move on, the past keeps whispering in her ear. Every choice she makes now carries the shadow of Ty. And poor Nathan, he's caught in a love story he can't win, fighting against a memory that still breathes in every corner of Heartland Ranch. But that's what makes this upcoming episode so thrilling and emotional. It's not just another romantic chapter. It's a haunting reminder that love doesn't always fade with time. Sometimes it waits in the silence, in the dark corners of the barn, in the beating heart of a woman who still believes in forever. So, if you thought Heartland was done surprising you, think again. Episode 4 promises heartbreak, mystery, and the kind of emotional storytelling that only this show can deliver. Amy's past and present are about to collide in a way that could change everything: her love life, her peace, and even her faith in herself. Whether Ty's ghost is real or just a figment of her longing, one thing's for sure: his presence is about to test everyone around her. And as for Nathan, well, his biggest challenge isn't winning Amy's love anymore. It's surviving her ghosts. After that haunting moment in the barn, things at Heartland start to feel different. It's as if something has shifted in the air. The warmth of the ranch suddenly feels colder, quieter, and Amy's smile, which once carried a sense of calm, now hides something fragile. Everyone notices, especially Nathan. He tries to stay patient, but how do you comfort someone who seems lost in memories that don't belong to you? There's this one quiet evening where Nathan watches Amy from a distance as she brushes Spartan, the horse that once belonged to her and Ty. She hums a tune that Nathan doesn't recognize. But we do. It's the same melody Ty used to whistle in season 14. The look on Nathan's face says it all: confusion, concern, and a touch of heartbreak. He's smart enough to know that love isn't a competition, but even the strongest hearts can only take so much when the past keeps knocking on the door. The leaked spoilers suggest that Amy begins to experience what she believes are signs from Ty: a shadow near the barn, the faint sound of boots on gravel, a door that creaks open without wind, things that no one else sees or hears. Some fans believe these moments are all in her head, caused by guilt and exhaustion. Others think there's something more spiritual going on, like Ty's soul never really left the ranch. But whatever it is, Amy can't shake the feeling that someone, or something, is trying to reach her. The tension builds when she finds an old picture of her and Ty hidden behind the barn wall, one that she doesn't remember putting there. It's almost as if Ty himself left it for her to find. This discovery sends her spiraling into a storm of emotions. She wants to believe it's just coincidence, but deep down, her heart refuses to let go of the possibility that Ty is still watching over her. Meanwhile, Nathan's frustration quietly grows. He loves Amy deeply, but every time he reaches for her, she seems further away. There's a scene where he tells Jack, "I feel like I'm living in someone else's shadow." And honestly, he's right. Ty's ghost isn't just haunting Amy, it's haunting their relationship. Jack, being the wise old man he's always been, tells Nathan something that cuts straight to the core. You can't fight ghosts, son. You can only love her through them. It's simple, but it hits hard. Nathan tries to follow that advice, but love isn't that easy when your partner is being pulled by memories stronger than the present. What hurts the most is that Nathan doesn't even blame Amy. He just doesn't know how to compete with something eternal. This emotional struggle turns him into one of the most sympathetic characters Heartland has ever written. He's calm, patient, kind, and yet slowly breaking inside. Then comes Caleb, the man who always seems to show up at the worst possible time. He's still carrying the weight of the secret he found: Ty's lost letter. The spoiler leaks say the letter contains a message Ty wrote before his final trip. A message meant for Amy about how he wanted her to find happiness, even if it wasn't with him. But instead of peace, the letter stirs chaos. Caleb debates whether to give it to Amy or destroy it. In his mind, giving her the letter could either free her from her pain or trap her in it forever. And when Nathan accidentally discovers the letter hidden in Caleb's truck, the situation explodes. The two men confront each other in one of the most emotionally charged moments of the season. Nathan accuses Caleb of playing with Amy's emotions for his own guilt. Caleb fires back, saying, "You think you can just walk in and erase a man like Ty? You'll never understand what that kind of love does to a person. It's raw, painful, and brutally honest." What's interesting is how the trailer plays with silence during this confrontation. No dramatic music, no shouting. Just two men standing in the middle of a storm, realizing they both love Amy in completely different ways. One loves her as a memory he can't let go of. The other loves her as a present he's terrified to lose. But what happens next changes everything. Caleb's guilt finally wins, and he hands Amy the letter, whispering, "He wrote this for you." The second she holds it, her hands tremble. And here's where the real suspense begins. The trailer cuts right before she opens it, and yet, it's not just Amy who's affected. Jack, Lou, and even Lisa start to notice strange things around the ranch. The horses behaving nervously, lights flickering, and Spartan refusing to enter the barn. All subtle signs that something unexplainable is happening. Could it all be in Amy's mind? Or is the ranch itself reacting to her unresolved grief? Heartland has never fully crossed into supernatural territory before, but season 19 might be the first time it blurs that line. And honestly, that's what makes it so gripping. Because in a world as grounded as Heartland, the possibility of a ghost, especially Ty's ghost, makes everything feel unpredictable again. By the end of this section of the story, Amy is caught between two impossible choices. She can either finally open Ty's letter and face whatever truth it holds, or she can leave it sealed and try to protect the fragile love she's rebuilding with Nathan. No matter what she chooses, someone's heart is going to break. Maybe even her own. But what's clear from the trailer and leaked footage is that this episode isn't just about love or loss anymore. It's about letting go of ghosts, the ones we see and the ones we carry inside us. And if the final seconds of the trailer are any indication, Amy's about to learn that some ghosts don't want to be forgotten. The moment Amy finally opens Ty's letter is nothing short of heartbreaking. It's one of those quiet scenes that feel louder than any storm. The trailer doesn't show us what's written, but leaked spoilers claim the words are something Amy was never meant to read. A message of love, regret, and goodbye that rips through every wall she's built around her heart. Ty's handwriting is shaky, filled with emotion, as he admits that if anything ever happened to him, he wanted Amy to promise she would keep living. Truly living. He writes that he wants her to smile again, to find peace, to love freely without guilt. But here's the twist. In the same letter, he confesses that a part of him will always be with her, watching over her and guiding her through every storm. That final line, "You'll know I'm there when the wind shifts, Ames," sends chills down her spine. And now, every whisper of the wind, every rustle of leaves suddenly feels like Ty calling out her name. Reading that letter breaks Amy all over again. It's not the pain of losing Ty. She's lived through that before. It's the pain of realizing she's never truly let him go. The letter becomes both a blessing and a curse. It frees her from the question of whether Ty wanted her to move on, but it also chains her to the idea that he's still out there somewhere, watching her every move. Nathan sees the change immediately. Amy becomes distant again, quiet, lost in thought. She tries to hide it, but Nathan's no fool. There's a scene where he gently takes her hand and says, "I don't need to compete with him, Amy, but I need to know there's still space for me in your heart." That line hits like a punch because you can feel the fear behind it. The fear of being loved half-heartedly, the fear of being the replacement in someone else's love story. Meanwhile, the tension at the ranch starts to reach a breaking point. Caleb can't shake his guilt, and Jack starts putting the pieces together. When Jack learns about the letter, he doesn't get angry, he just sighs and says something wise as always. Sometimes the truth don't set you free. Sometimes it just reminds you how trapped you've been. And he's right. Amy isn't free yet. The more she thinks she's moving forward, the more the past drags her back. The strange occurrences on the ranch intensify. The wind chime near Ty's memorial starts ringing even when there's no wind. The barn door swings open at night, and Amy swears she hears footsteps just behind her. When she turns, there's no one there, only the soft neigh of Spartan, who seems as unsettled as she is. Whether these moments are real or imagined doesn't even matter anymore. They're real to Amy, and that's what makes it terrifying. The leaked footage shows Amy visiting Ty's old cabin alone. The place is covered in dust, frozen in time. On the table sits a framed picture of the two of them, still smiling like they did all those years ago. She whispers, "I miss you, but I can't live like this anymore." Just as she turns to leave, the lights flicker, and she hears that same whisper again. "Ames." Her knees almost give out as tears fill her eyes. It's that kind of haunting where love meets grief, where memories feel like ghosts that never left. But what makes this episode so powerful is how it balances that supernatural undertone with raw human emotion. It's not about ghosts in the literal sense. It's about how memories haunt us when we're not ready to move on. Nathan, on the other hand, starts to break under the pressure. He tries to be understanding, but he's human. In one emotional exchange with Caleb, he admits, "Every time she looks past me, I know who she's seeing." That vulnerability makes Nathan's character even more endearing. He's not angry, just hurt. He's in love with a woman who's torn between a memory and a man standing right in front of her. Caleb, still feeling the weight of his own actions, tells Nathan, "She needs to say goodbye before she can say hello again." It's a line that perfectly sums up what this entire arc is about: closure. Not just for Amy, but for everyone who's been touched by Ty's presence. And then comes the scene that changes everything. Late one night, Amy wakes up again, hearing that familiar voice calling her name. This time, she doesn't run. She steps outside, barefoot on the cold ground, and looks toward the barn. The camera follows her as she whispers, "Ty, if that's really you, I need you to let me go." The wind picks up, strong enough to make the lantern sway. The horses start to stir, and for a split second, Amy sees a faint silhouette in the distance, just standing there near the pasture. She blinks, and it's gone. The next morning, Jack finds her sitting by the barn, still in the same spot, eyes red from crying. She tells him, "I think I finally said goodbye." It's one of those moments that doesn't need any dialogue. You can just feel the weight lifting, even if only slightly. But here's where the suspense deepens. The final seconds of the trailer show something nobody expected. As Amy and Nathan prepare to leave for a rodeo event, the camera pans to Ty's old saddle in the barn, and it moves slightly, as if touched by invisible hands. The wind chime rings again, softly this time, and we hear Ty's voice echo faintly in the background. "I'll always be here." Then the screen cuts to black. It's haunting, beautiful, and completely Heartland. Fans are already debating whether this means Ty's spirit is truly present, or if it's just Amy's heart making peace with him at last. Either way, the moment sends chills through everyone who ever believed that love never dies. Now, with Amy finally confronting the ghost of her past, the real question becomes, can she fully open her heart to Nathan? Because as touching as Ty's goodbye was, moving forward still takes courage, and Amy has a long road ahead of her. She's finally free from the haunting, but freedom often comes with emptiness. She's lost her ghost, but can she handle what comes next? Life without Ty's shadow guiding her? The answer might just shape the rest of the season. After the night Amy finally faced Ty's spirit, something inside her begins to change. It's subtle at first. The kind of shift that only people who truly know her can sense. Her eyes seem clearer, her movements softer, like she's finally breathing again after holding her breath for years. But the peace doesn't last long. Healing, after all, isn't a straight road. It twists, turns, and sometimes circles back to the same pain you thought you left behind. For Amy, that's exactly what starts to happen. Because while she believes she's finally said goodbye to Ty, the echoes of that goodbye linger in ways she never expected. In the days that follow, Nathan stays by her side more than ever. He doesn't ask too many questions. He just stays present, quiet, and gentle. The kind of presence that says, "I'm here, even if you can't talk." There's a beautiful, yet heartbreaking scene where Amy watches Nathan fixing a fence near the pasture, sunlight hitting his face in just the right way. She smiles faintly, but you can tell her mind is elsewhere, almost comparing, not out of choice, but out of habit. The weight of years spent loving Ty doesn't just disappear because of one emotional night. The human heart isn't built that simply. Nathan senses it too. That invisible distance between them, smaller than before, but still there, becomes an unspoken truth they both try to ignore. Then, something unexpected happens. Lou discovers that Amy has been visiting Ty's old cabin more frequently than she admitted. At first, Lou thinks it's just part of Amy's healing, but she grows worried when Amy starts talking about feeling his presence again. Lou confronts her, not in anger, but in fear. She tells her, "You can't keep living in between two worlds, Amy. You'll lose yourself." That confrontation hits hard. Amy doesn't fight back. She just listens, eyes filled with tears, and quietly replies, "I'm not trying to find him, Lou. He's finding me." It's one of those lines that sends shivers down your spine because you can't tell if Amy is being poetic or deadly serious.